Today I have for you 10 tips and tricks that you absolutely need to know in Arc Raiders, so let's get this. Leaving the control tower building on damp battlegrounds after you open the key room, especially on night raids or on a higher condition, can be pretty scary as people can wait around the corner. But what if I told you there's a way you can use the zipline to pretty much just get away safely without anybody noticing? All you have to do is go outside on the outer part of the key room where you can actually loot as well, and you can place a zipline from all the way up there all the way down at the bottom to pretty much make your escape. And well, nobody is gonna know that you've done that, so people are just gonna wait at the door thinking that maybe you're just waiting in there for the timer to end, but you're actually long gone, which I think is a really good tip, and I've been using this all the time and I have absolutely no issues with rats. The power descender is a pretty cool gadget, but let's be honest, it's not the best. It definitely needs a bit of a buff, maybe last a bit longer so you can fly further with it, and it is quite expensive. You need a power rod and a turbine compressor to craft it. But what if I told you there's a way that you can actually use this and it's way better than you think? And it works fantastic if you play a certain mode, and that mode is gonna be the hurricane condition. If you use the power descender on a hurricane condition, you can absolutely fly for pretty big distances. Normally you'd go for like 20 to 30 meters with the power descender. Well, in the hurricane condition you can go for over 100 meters in the air with it, which is kind of insane. Just make sure the wind doesn't take you high enough and then you run out of juice, because you are gonna fall to your death. Happened to me many times, but it's so much fun to actually fly with the power descender around the map in hurricane. I will highly advise you guys take one with you whenever you're doing the hurricane, because you can go from one group to another pretty easily and you can cover some pretty long distances that you know, you will not be able to with, let's say, a zipline, because you can use the power descender quite some time. Did you know you can actually use the anvil to shoot around corners without actually peeking? If you hold your weapon out like this, you can just sit around the corner like that and only your hand is gonna show, and you can just shoot your anvil without actually exposing your body, which I think is pretty cool. Of course, you're not going to have the normal accuracy of the anvil, but if someone is really close or a big arc is very close and you really don't want to showcase yourself, well, this is a very good way to use the anvil, and it works both ways, as you can swap shoulders and then just do the same thing. In order to get a angle or to see exactly where you're gonna aim, just try to quick ADS once, and then it's gonna hold the weapon out like this, and you can just see where the crosshair is, which I think is actually pretty nice, and you can shoot whoever's around the corner or an arc outside without exposing too much of your body. There is also a bonus tip that I can share with you, and this one is actually pretty important. Smashing the like and subscribe button will actually help out quite a bit, so if you haven't done that already, make sure you do it. Did you know that you can actually shoot the missiles of a bombardier while they're flying towards you? If you take your time and actually aim at the rockets, you can take them down before they actually hit you. Fighting the turbine is definitely pretty scary, as it has some deadly attacks, but what if I told you there's a way you can pretty much fully block the attack and take 0 damage while fighting it? All you have to do is bring with you, well, some barricade kits, and these things will actually work fantastic. I will highly recommend to put maybe 2 or 3 down whenever you try to fight this. Having only 1 can sometimes not block the attacks, but what you have to do, place them down like this. Have a hole cracker with you or any weapon that does some pretty good damage on the core, and that's how you do the most amount of damage and take them down pretty fast. Try to hit all the shots in the core using the hole cracker, Jupiter, whatever weapon you have, and then just hug the wall of the barricade, and like this you're actually not gonna take any damage. Wait for it to de-aggro and just rinse and repeat. Look at us, we're taking 0 damage, and the best part about this is that you can pretty much sit in the same spot without requiring to move around the map, so you don't even need to dismantle them. I mean, look at this, we're just sitting here without absolutely no problems. He's eventually going to de-aggro, have a blue light, and then he's gonna pretty much go down again in the same spot. But let me try to shoot it a few more times so we get a few more attacks to show you how good the barricades really are. So just hug the wall, And look at that, absolutely zero damage. Look at that, zero damage whatsoever. And these things are getting a bit destroyed. But for our very next tip, did you guys know that if you put a barricade kit down and it actually gets damaged, you can restore the weapon back to full health super easy, and you'd never have to use more than one per game? Whenever you see it almost destroyed like this, all you have to do is just dismantle it very quickly, and after you do that, just pick it back up and it's gonna be back at full health, and you can reuse it. And basically you can do this, well, as many times as you want in a raid without actually having it destroyed. So this is very useful for whenever you're fighting turbines or big arcs, or even just holding down a position against another player, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, look at that, back to full 500 health, absolutely amazing. Did you know you can actually use snap hook to pull things towards you, not just snap hook onto things? For example, I have a rocketeer here that has been taken down, and I can use the snap hook to pretty much pull the thrusters close to me so I can loot them. Very heavy items are not going to be able to be pulled, but smaller ones from smaller arc or smaller pieces from big arc can actually be pulled towards you, like the rocketeer drivers, the bastion legs. But the big carcass of the rocketeer, it's actually just going to work like a normal snap hook, like you would try to get on top of a roof or something like that. So bigger arc parts are not going to be able to be put closer to you, but smaller ones, you know, you can actually snag them from other people if you have a snap hook, which I think is pretty cool. Definitely not something you're gonna do a lot, but pretty interesting. Fighting the turbine or the vaporizers can be pretty annoying, time consuming. They do require a lot of resources, and you know, getting the parts for them can take some time. But what if I told you there's a way you can get them pretty much for free, and the only thing you need is the axe you have in your inventory all the time? Yes, all you have to do is go and search for arc couriers, breach them, and there is a pretty decent chance to get a vaporizer regulator or a turbine compressor from them. Quite often, I'll say. Definitely going in the Electrostorm increases the chances even more. I find most of them on Electrostorm, and I think the turbine compressor drops quite frequently. Like, I've never crafted one of the power descender from actually killing a turbine. I always just go into Electrostorm, search the couriers, and get those parts that I need. So definitely, if you're looking for these things, just go for the couriers. There's no point in fighting the turbine or even the vaporizer. Did you know there's a lot of ways you can defend the key rooms that you just opened? You can always put a door blocker, you can always put a barricade kit in front of the door as well, so you kind of know when people try to come in and they have to take those down, but eventually they can still break through those and come into the room. What can you do to pretty much stop them or take them out without, well, having any problems? Well, the answer is pretty simple. You have the Surge Coil, which is a pretty amazing piece of gadget, and this works mainly on the big key rooms like the dam control tower or the town hall on Berry City, and all you have to do is place one of those things just above the doorway inside, and when people come in the room after they breach the door blocker or whatever you have in front of the door, they will get zapped. They have no time to shoot the Surge Coil before they get zapped again, and it's pretty much a free kill for you, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I always use this when I go in the Dam Control Tower in Berry City Town Hall, and well, everybody that comes inside gets smoked because they have no chance of fighting back. And if you are, you know, one of those people that really don't want to take any chances, you can place a Surge Coil on the Dam Control Tower zipline when you go up there midway, and it's gonna zap everybody that comes up the zip, and is gonna make them fall to the ground and die as well, which is pretty amazing. And well, nobody's gonna disturb you when you do that. You can actually jump from pretty big heights in Arc Raiders without any special items and not take any damage. You don't need like a snap hook, crash mat, power descender, or a zipline to jump from certain buildings. I think it works until like 25 or 20 plus meters, and all you have to do is just look down if there's like a ledge that you can grab onto, and jump and basically grab the ledge, and that way you're gonna pretty much neglect all the damage that you were going to take. It's not gonna work forever because you are gonna go into that free fall kind of animation. So if you jump from like extremely tall buildings, you are most likely gonna die. But if there's a zip line next to you, you can actually grab onto it, and all you have to do is just jump and grab on the ledge, and look at that, perfect. And someone got a Vita spray blueprint for us. Thank you, but I don't need it. So, pretty cool. You can jump from certain places and kind of escape the situation right here. Maybe you're getting chased by players, arc, and stuff like that. Just jump, grab a ledge, and you're out of there.